हेलो एवरीवन, दिस इज मी उज़ैर हसन एंड आई वेलकम यू ऑल। कहाँ पे? आपके अपने सबसे बड़े मॉर्निंग शो ट्रांसमिशन पे, जो कि इस वक्त आप देख रहे हैं ऑन द बिगेस्ट साउथ एशियन टीवी नेटवर्क इन नॉर्थ अमेरिका एंड विच इज़ ऑफ कोर्स NTV ह्यूस्टन। प्रोग्राम का नाम है गुड मॉर्निंग विद NTV ह्यूस्टन, ब्रॉट टू यू बाय किंग्स कंस्ट्रक्शन, स्पाइस्ड अप बाय मलका फूड्स एंड रिफ्रेश्ड बाय फ्रूटोस। इन today's episode we are going to feature an important guest as well. He is known for these amazing non-surgical techniques as well. What are those techniques? हम उनसे बात करेंगे definitely. And क्या आजकल है सबसे best about weight loss in terms of liposuction के अलावा, जिसकी वजह से skin loosening हो जाती है and काफ़ी इस तरह की problems face करनी पड़ती हैं. So we are going to talk about that. बट अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं एक मूवी की, एंड मूवी के ट्रेलर के बारे में बात करने से पहले, मूवी का नाम है ग्रीटल एंड हैंसल। And Gretel and Hansel की, if I'm going to tell about a little story, so a mother descends into madness and siblings हैं दो, Gretel and Hansel, and उनके बारे में ये एक थ्रिलर फैंटेसी मूवी है। एंड इसके बाद जो है उनको एक आइसोलेटेड घर में रखा जाता है एंड सीमिंगली फ्रेंडली ओनर होता है, लेकिन द चिल्ड्रन सून सस्पेक्ट कि जो जेनरस और मिस्टीरियस बिहेवियर है उसका, वो एक बहुत बड़े प्लान की तरफ ले जा रहा है। सो आई वॉन्ट यू गाइज, इसका ट्रेलर हमारे पास है, ऑलरेडी थिएटर में लगी हुई है। एंड अगर आपने ये मूवी अभी तक नहीं देखी है, सो यू कैन डेफिनेटली गो एंड वॉच दिस। बट अभी जाके ट्रेलर देखिए इस मूवी का।
Careful with that, dear. I'd hate for you to start something you can't stop.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm called Gretel, and this rough one here is my brother Hansel.
Ouch!
There's something wrong here.
But it's so pleasant.
Where are all the animals? From where does she draw milk?
Gretel, there's a storm coming. This is your power. To see what is hidden and to take it. We were given the same gift, the same magic.
Brother! What did you do with him?
All that is left is to make him. Delicious.
कुछ अर्सा पहले आपको याद होगा कि एक नई वेव आई थी जिसमें द पीपल वर एक्चुअली गोइंग टू द ग्रोसरी स्टोर्स, जो बड़े बड़े ग्रोसरी स्टोर्स थे, एंड दे वर लिकिंग द आइसक्रीम्स, एंड आइसक्रीम लिक करके जो है वो उसकी वीडियोस बनाए थे, एंड दे वर अपलोडिंग देम ऑन सोशल मीडिया, एंड विच वाज कंसिडर्ड टू बी अ क्राइम एज वेल लेटर ऑन। एंड जिसकी वजह से हमने देखा कि जेल के अंदर और डिफरेंट जेलों के अंदर जो है लोगों की क्वांटिटी काफ़ी बढ़ती चली गई, क्योंकि इस पे स्ट्रिक्ट मॉनिटरिंग यूज हुई, एंड पीपल वर डूइंग इट फॉर फन, बट दे वर गिवन हैवी फाइन्स, एंड हैवी फाइन के साथ साथ उनको जेल, सबसे पहले जो बड़ी बात है, वो भेज दिया गया। इस तरह की एक पर्टिकुलर चीज़ जो है, एक ट्रेंड बेसिकली, एक बहुत अजीब सा ख़राब सा ट्रेंड जो है दोबारा शुरू किया गया, लेकिन डेफिनेटली आई होप ये उसको इतना ज़्यादा फेमस ना। वी हैव दिस वीडियो इन विच एक ये इस्तांबुल की वीडियो है, probably Istanbul if I'm not mistaken, and you can definitely correct us अगर ये कोई और सिटी हो जिसके अंदर ये जो लड़का है ये शवरमे का बाइट, जो शवरमा मीट जो एक लगा हुआ होता है किसी भी शॉप के ऊपर, उसमें वो एक ग्रिल जब वो हो रहा था तो उसके ऊपर वो बाइट लेके एक लड़का भाग गया है, एंड यू कैन सी एग्जैक्टली कि किस तरह का रिस्पॉन्स हुआ है। सो वी शुड नॉट प्रमोट दिस काइंड ऑफ ट्रेंड्स, बट दिस वॉज ऑन द सोशल मीडिया ऑल ओवर, सो आई वॉन्टेड यू गाइज टू हैव दिस नॉलेज कि क्या चल रहा है दुनिया में। आई वॉन्ट यू गाइज टू गो एंड वॉच दिस। बात करेंगे एक शॉर्ट फीचर डॉक्यूमेंट्री मूवी की जो कि नॉमिनी बनी एकेडमी अवार्ड्स की। उसका पोस्टर हमारे पास है। आई वॉन्ट यू गाइज टू गो एंड वॉच द पोस्टर एज वेल। आपको साथ साथ अभी हमारे टेलीविजन स्क्रीन पे भी नज़र आ रहा होगा। इस मूवी के डायरेक्टर हैं वाद अल खतीब एंड एडवर्ड वॉट्स, एंड इट्स कंसिडर्ड टू बी द बेस्ट डॉक्यूमेंट्री फीचर में उसको नॉमिनेट किया गया है। हमारे पास बाफ्टा से रिलेटेड हमारे पास कुछ क्लिप्स हैं। आई वांट टू शेयर इट विद यू गाइज। आप जाके ये देखिए एंड इसके बाद वापस आते हैं। हम वापस आ गए हैं एंड अब बारी है एक छोटे से ब्रेक पे जाने की. ब्रेक के बाद डॉक्टर डेया डेफेशे इज गोइंग टू बी ऑन द सेट ऑफ गुड मॉर्निंग विद एनटीवी ह्यूस्टन. आई डोंट वांट यू गाइस टू मिस दिस नॉलेजेबल एंड इनक्रेडिबल एपिसोड. हम मिल रहे हैं ब्रेक के बाद आपसे. कहीं मत जाइएगा, वापस आइएगा. यू आर वॉचिंग गुड मॉर्निंग विद एनटीवी ह्यूस्टन.
शुगरलैंड में आ रहा है अलरब्बा वर्ल्ड फूड. 61,000 स्क्वायर फीट में होगा आपका अपना देसी मिनी मॉल, जहां ग्रोसरी से लेकर होम फर्निशिंग तक ये है वन स्टॉप शॉप डेस्टिनेशन. लोकेटेड इन न्यू टेरिटरी एरिया एट यूनिवर्सिटी एंड ग्रैंड पार्कवे. अलरब्बा ऑफर्स रिटेल स्पेस फॉर ऑल बिजनेसेस. Al-Rabba World Foods. For more information, call Amir Ali at 512-652-8462. सुनो, आज क्या पकाऊं?
कुछ नया पकाओ यार.
हर रोज का है देखो एक ही सवाल, आज क्या पकाऊं, क्या है ख्याल.
आ गए नए मलका रेसिपी मसाले, खालिस और बेहतरीन अज्जा, मुनफरिद जायका, नो एडेड एमएसजी और ग्लूटेन से महफूज. लखनवी बिरयानी, हैदराबादी अचार गोश्त, पंजाबी तड़का दाल, पेशावरी कढ़ाई.
मुझको देखो मिल गया इसका एक हल, रोज है मजा नया, आज हो या कल.
आज तो कमाल कर दिया.
कमाल तो मलका ने किया है.
तुम ही तो हो मेरे दिल की मलका.
मलका, कुछ नया पकाओ.
The 2019 Model Year in event now at Ron Carter Cadillac has been worth the wait. Enjoy our lowest payments of the year. Sign and drive new 2019 Escalade Premium Luxury for just $899 a month, or 39-month lease with just $1 down, or get 0.9% APR for 72 months. Or loyal Cadillac and competitive model owners receive $18,000 in savings. Your only Houston area Cadillac to your door dealer. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service, striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
मनपसंद सुपरमार्केट, जहां की फ्रेश वेजिटेबल्स, स्पाइसेस, फ्रोजन फूड आइटम्स आपको सबसे अच्छे प्राइस में मिलेगी, और हलाल ज़बीहा मीट भी मिलेगा. दाम मनपसंद, नाम मनपसंद, तो फिर क्यों ना जाए मनपसंद. लोकेटेड एट विलक्रेस्ट ड्राइव, ह्यूस्टन, नॉर्थ हाईवे एंड विलियम कैनन ड्राइव, ऑस्टिन, टेक्सास. तो नाम याद रखिएगा, मनपसंद सुपरमार्केट.
डुबकी लगा, ससीटो का मजा बड़ा. ससीटो टोमेटो केचप, मजे की डुबकी.
Welcome back after the break. You are watching Good Morning with NTV Houston, the biggest South Asian TV network in North America. In today's episode, we are going to focus more on some of these health-related issues. Not basically issues, but somehow how can someone deal with it, and if someone is suffering from them, what are some of the symptoms they can easily identify. We are going to talk about that as well. Without any further ado, let me introduce you to Mr. Dr. Deya Defashe. Hello, doctor.
Hello,
how are you?
Sir. How are you?
It's so good to see you over here. And this name is very unique for a doctor particularly. So where this name is originated from, and the biography, I know about that, but if you'd like to tell a little about yourself to the people.
So the name is originally from Egypt.
Okay.
I went to medical school in Cairo University and then went to England to have my postgrad education, where I got my board certification in obstetrics and gynecology from England, and then moved to the United States, to the University of Chicago, and then finished my residency and then got my board certification again from the United States of America in obstetrics and gynecology.
Wow, that's great. Talking about your particular profession, you are a gynecologist, and with that you are an obstetrician as well.
Yes.
Some people relate, or some people say that both of these things are similar, or it's the same thing as well. So tell us a little about what's the main difference between these two.
Actually, they're two different subjects completely. So obstetrics, basically, it's the science of dealing with pregnant women.
Okay.
The pregnant women health and the well-being of the baby until it's delivered.
Yeah.
For gynecology, it's dealing with diseases and problems that women face in their genital tract during their life. When they are not pregnant. So they're two different things, but maybe related or focused on women, of course.
First of all, we are going to talk about different topics, but the main problem right now is there is a certain requirement as well in which the testosterone, the hormones in males, they are injected in males as well. And sometimes these hormones, the estrogen hormone that is in females, are injected in females. What are some of the main reasons for that? Why is it
so? Basically, the hormones during our lifetime, and especially in the 30s and 40s, starts going out of whack, and patient starts complaining. For men, and sometimes it's decreased libido, self-esteem, even impotence are common with low testosterone. For women, weight gain, decreased sexual drive, they're all related to testosterone.
Okay.
So until recently, the testosterone was given through injections. The patient has to go to have the injection every week. But now with the BioT and the hormone pellets that we've studied and been...
Definitely. Doctor, with that, as you mentioned that these were injected in injections as well, how these testosterones are created basically, or estrogen, how they are basically created, and how long is the procedure particularly? Is it a one sitting? Is it a 3 sittings? How can someone be fully prepared, or the process, how long does it take?
So the hormones are pellets that are manufactured at the highest level.
Okay.
And then we receive them in the office as a small pellets, very tiny little pellets, that goes underneath the skin in the upper butt area. So basically...
They are only injected in the butts.
Right, in the upper butt area. So basically, the woman or the man comes in and they have complaints. So we give them a lab work to be evaluated, and then after we get the lab results, and if there is need for testosterone or the estrogen for women, then we calculate the dose and then get the pellets and inject them underneath the skin.
Doctor, you could please.
I do apologize. For women, usually the pellet stays for 3 to 4 months and then wears off, and they have to have another pellet. For men, it's about 6 to 7 months. So they don't have to come every week for the injections as it normally is in low testosterone clinics, for example.
Yeah, because everyone varies, everyone works varies as well, as you have mentioned that you don't have to come every week with that. How do you actually calculate, or what's the procedure to see that how much dose a particular person can survive? Because some of the people are having different medical issues as well in terms of getting injections, or if they are diabetic or suffering from these kind of issues. Does that matter as well when you are getting these injections, or anyone can have them?
Anybody can have them if they have deficiency in those particular hormones. So we get the levels from the lab, including the testosterone, the estrogen, the thyroid hormones, and we put them in a computer model, and the computer calculates automatically the hormone pellets that needs to be injected in that particular person. So that's regarding the BioT hormones. It's usually a very simple procedure, very well tolerated by patients, and the results are amazing. Takes few weeks actually to get the results, but once the patients feels the results, some patients come to me and say, we're like born again. We're like we're new people. We're new human being. Thank you for putting me back in my 20s and so on. So it's really good.
And Dr. Dea, there is a certain procedure as well in which the women who are more like men tends to have when they want to have that deep voice, when they want to grow these facial hair as well, when they are going to a completely transformational journey as well. In these operations as well, certain tests, for example, in women, testosterons are being injected in order to make them more manly when they are having the complete transformation. Are these the same testosterone, or it varies with them when you are injecting these into women to make them look more like men?
Of course, you're talking about a very small sector of patients, which is transgender patients. But the hormone is the hormone, the testosterone is the same, but
and same vice versa with the men, they are getting the estrogen.
But the dose is completely different. For men, it's much higher than what I give for women. It's a very small dose for women. And then for women that wants to be men, that's of course a completely different dose.
Okay, but somehow these things are same related or not? According to you, are these the medicine or the testosterone?
The medicine is the same, but I don't want to have a female to feel that the testosterone is a bit too much for her, giving her some virilizing symptoms or men-looking symptoms.
And it might be having several side effects.
Exactly, you don't have to have unwanted hair or beard or deepening of the voice. That's all side effects, so we don't need that.
Definitely. And as you mentioned about some of the problems that gynecologists usually deal with, what are some of the common problems that you have seen in recent years that have developed a lot in the early, like teenage girls or the girls that are not matured or not married as well? The increase in some of these problems you have seen.
Some of the symptoms that I've noticed recently is actually the decreased sexual drive in patients that you think that would not have this problem in a younger population group.
Usually it was common in the older patients, now you are seeing that in the younger ones.
Yeah, and men and women. So for women, which was our main focus in our practice, basically we see them having either they have no sexual drive or decreased the ability to reach the climax. So there's a new procedure that we do, which is the O-spot enhancement, using the PRP, platelets-rich plasma, where we draw the patient's blood, centrifuge it, get the platelets, which are rich in
but they are extracted from the same patient, right?
Yes, the same patient, of course, blood. And we take the platelets, which are rich in platelets-rich plasma, so rich in growth factors, and then we inject it at the O-spot in the vagina. Very comfortable procedure, easy to perform, non-surgical.
Not a very long procedure, or the patient has to stay over there?
No. 15-20 minutes, it's done. And that enhances the O-spot area in the vagina, increases the sexual drive for those women, having better relationship with their partners, and also satisfaction during intercourse. So it's a very simple procedure, and the results are excellent.
And as you mentioned about PRP, it's getting very famous right now. In fact, different clinics and different hospitals around the world are offering these things. Where else PRP could be done? There are different procedures, people are having them in here as well. What are some of the things that PRP could be very beneficial for?
So the idea behind the PRP are basically platelets that are rich in growth factors, and growth factors can stimulate the formation of collagen. And collagen is the protein matrix that keep our skin intact, soft, and healthy. So we can use it, for example, for some scars. We can help in healing wounds with PRP. In addition,
some of the wounds that are visible and are not pleasing to the eyes as well.
Yeah, and that can be injected underneath the scar and can also help in forming better scar tissue.
Right now, we are moving to a very short commercial break. After the break, Dr. Dea is going to be on the set once again. And with that, this is me, Harrison. Taking a break, we have some more interesting questions coming up for you guys as well, and how you can definitely cope up with these situations if you are having. Definitely, it's a treat to watch. Let's take a break.
शुगरलैंड में आ रहा है अलरब्बा वर्ल्ड फूड। 61,000 स्क्वायर फीट में होगा आपका अपना देसी मिनी मॉल, जहां ग्रोसरी से लेकर होम फर्निशिंग तक ये है वन स्टॉप शॉप डेस्टिनेशन। लोकेटेड इन न्यू टेरिटरी एरिया एट यूनिवर्सिटी एंड ग्रैंड पार्कवे, अलरब्बा offers retail space for all businesses. Alrabba World Foods. For more information, call Amir Ali at 512-652-8462. सुनो, आज क्या पकाऊं?
कुछ नया पकाओ यार।
हर रोज का है देखो एक ही सवाल, आज क्या पकाऊं, क्या है ख्याल।
आ गए नए मलका रेसिपी मसाले, खालिस और बेहतरीन अज्जा, मुनफरिद जायका, नो एडेड एमएसजी और ग्लूटेन से महफूज। लखनवी बिरयानी, हैदराबादी अचार गोश्त, पंजाबी तड़का दाल, पेशावरी कढ़ाई।
मुझको देखो मिल गया इसका एक हल, रोज है मजा नया, आज हो या कल।
आज तो कमाल कर दिया।
कमाल तो मलका ने किया है।
तुम ही तो हो मेरे दिल की मलका।
मलका, कुछ नया पकाओ।
The 2019 model year in event now at Ron Carter Cadillac has been worth the wait. Enjoy our lowest payments of the year. Sign and drive new 2019 Escalade Premium Luxury for just $899 a month, or 39-month lease with just $1 down, or get 0.9% APR for 72 months. Or loyal Cadillac and competitive model owners receive $18,000 in savings. Your only Houston area Cadillac to your door dealer. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service, striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
मनपसंद सुपरमार्केट, जहां की फ्रेश वेजिटेबल्स, स्पाइसेस, फ्रोजन फूड आइटम्स आपको सबसे अच्छे प्राइस में मिलेगी, और हलाल ज़बीहा मीट भी मिलेगा। दाम मनपसंद, नाम मनपसंद, तो फिर क्यों ना जाए मनपसंद। लोकेटेड एट विलक्रिस्ट ड्राइव, ह्यूस्टन, नॉर्थ हाईवे एंड विलियम कैनन ड्राइव, ऑस्टिन, टेक्सास। तो नाम याद रखिएगा, मनपसंद सुपरमार्केट।
Dubki, dubki, sasi dubki, dubki, saucy do, dubki, dubki लगा, sasi का मजा बड़ा, dubki, sasi तो tomato ketchup, मजे की dubki.
Welcome back after the break. You are watching Good Morning with NTV Houston with me, Uzair Hassan. This episode is brought to you by King's Construction, powered by Frutos and spiced up by Malka Foods. We were talking about the things that are very common nowadays with people, with women and men particularly, but now we are talking about women, of course, for sure. Doctor, we were talking a little about, in the break, we were talking about this cool sculpting technique. This is similar. People usually confuse it with liposuction as well. Tell us the main difference, particularly what is the main difference between these two procedures?
Okay, so basically the two techniques are completely different. However, they're targeting the same idea, where you have a stubborn area of fat that you cannot lose, whether with diet or exercise, and you still have this abdominal fat and you can't lose it. So you go for a liposuction. That means invasive. That means needle going underneath the skin, going through your belly, and suction of those fat particles outside your body. It's more painful, more time for recovery, and downtime for you can go to work for a few days. But for the cool sculpting, it's different. It's a non-invasive, where you put the cup on the baby on the mother's tummy, and where we have the fat that's stubborn that you cannot lose, and then the fat would get very cold and starts
melting,
lysing.
or how does it work?
It's basically ruptures from the cold.
From their actual form.
Right. So as if like when you have like a bottle of water and you leave it in the fridge or the freezer for days and it's full of water, it ruptures. So if you forget about it. So the same idea, those cells start rupturing.
Okay. And with that, how long is this particular procedure about, if you're talking about cool sculpting technique, and what's the result of the people? Because in liposuction, there is people usually face the thing about skin loosening. How is this difference for the skin loosening? Is it going to be the same or a bit lesser?
The skin actually gets tightened at the same time while you're losing the fat. So you don't have those flappy skin after the procedure. In fact, the skin would be tight enough, and you see the difference within a few weeks. The fat that is lost cannot be regained. You cannot gain weight at the same area that you had the liposuction, because those fats, when you have the cool sculpting, those fat cells cannot regenerate.
Okay. And with that, as you have mentioned that if people are having different procedures, weight loss, in fact, they can gain weight once again and they can have those cells active. This how it makes the cells completely ruptures. And one of the greatest issues right now faced by women is fibroids, and which is getting also very common. And sometimes the women are not familiar with this thing, and they usually go to their gynecologists as well, to the doctors, and then they are told that they are having this. Tell us about that. What are some of the symptoms for this particular things that are happening?
So fibroids are benign tumors of the uterus. They grow on the uterus surface, or inside the cavity of the uterus, or inside the wall of the uterus, and they can cause quite a few problems to women. Some patients would complain of heavy periods. Some patients would complain of pain, discomfort. Also, it can have pressure on the bladder, so they go to the bathroom more frequently because the bladder capacity is diminished. Some patients cannot conceive, cannot get pregnant because of the fibroids taking the place of where the baby usually grows inside the uterus. And it has multiple drawbacks. So definitely we were trying to find a way to treat those patients in the medical field, whether medically or surgically.
Definitely. Talking about one of the best things right now available to increase collagen, was PRP. Tell us about this. How important is PRP right now, and when was it discovered? Basically, it's a very old procedure, because I have seen right now the clinics or hospitals or even doctors promoting it more. Is it something new, or was it old?
Yeah, PRP is platelets-rich plasma, and basically we draw the patient's blood in a tube, centrifuge it, and we take the superficial part of the centrifuge, which is rich in platelets, and platelets are rich in collagen and growth factors. The growth factors go inside the body and start forming collagen. And the collagen,
so it somehow makes the wound or any scar get lesser in terms of the prominency.
It can, absolutely. It can reduce the formation of scar in wound healing, and sometimes we insert it in the wounds during surgery to help the healing of the wound and also reduce the scar at the end. Also, we can inject it in scars in the face, and together with fillers, it helps the scar to look much better than before. And we can inject it also in hair scalp.
Hair scalp as well,
because the scalp sometimes...
The thinning of the hair.
The thinning of the hair of the scalp usually responds very well to platelets-rich plasma. So we take the patient's blood, centrifuge it, take the platelets, inject it in different parts of the scalp, and that would form the collagen and the hair follicles to regrow and improve the scalp hair.
Okay, and another thing I would like to mention is about the tightening of the tubes particularly. and this was one of the questions as well from the people. The tubes tied up, and with that, when they actually want to have a baby later on, they are unable to do so. And even in the beginning, what are some of the reasons they want their tubes to be tied up? It's because of the pregnancy.
So some patients, after having children, they would like to stop having more children.
Yeah.
So as a permanent method of contraception, they have their tubes tied. And when their tubes tied, they cannot get pregnant. So later down the road in their lives, they meet another person, and that person perhaps would like to have baby with them. So they come to me and asking me how can they untie the tubes, reverse the tubal ligation. So reversing of tubal ligation is a
Is it complicated?
It's not. It's a simple procedure where we cut the area that has been tied before by the previous procedure and connect the tubes together with sutures, flush it with a dye, make sure that the tubes are opened, and do the same thing with the other tube, make sure that both tubes are opened at the time of the surgery. The surgery is a day procedure. They go home the same day. It's done at the hospital.
Okay.
And
the same day they can go back as well.
Yeah, because sterilization and the environment of the hospital is much better than doing it in other places, like some people do it in offices. I think it's better to be done in the hospital.
Of course.
The results are excellent, and patients can get pregnant again.
Okay, that's great. And the things that you are mostly seeing right now, any 2 to 3 things that you have observed with the problems related to women in 2020 or 2019, or basically in this decade?
Yeah, I would like to touch back on the fibroids, because we have a new procedure now that we didn't have before, which actually called ASESA. And basically ASESA is radio frequency energy that is transmitted to the fibroid through a needle. And it basically lights the fibroid. It makes the fibroid shrink and goes away. And the symptoms, of course, goes away with it as well. It's a minimally invasive. The patient is under anesthesia while she's having a laparoscopy, scope in her belly. And then with the scope in her belly, we can see the fibroids and then target the fibroid with a needle and emits the radiofrequency energy to get rid of the fibroid. Takes few minutes. Patients go home the same day, very little discomfort afterwards, and resume her quality of life within 24 hours.
Okay, and how long is the healing process for the people who are suffering from fibroids when they are treated, and what's the procedure? How long is the healing process for the people with the bending tubes?
Yeah, I think for the fibroids, it's actually the day of the procedure is the only day that they're down, and then they resume their activity. In the past, we didn't have many surgical options before the ASESA. We had to have the fibroid removed, or we have to have a hysterectomy for that, and the downtime was longer. But now with the ASESA and with just the needle producing the energy to destroy the fibroids, patients go home and they function normally afterwards. For the tubal ligation, it's the day of the surgery. They're down, and of course take it easy for a day or so, and then they're back to normal as well.
Doctor, the skin tightening, as you mentioned, is getting very famous right now, and not only famous, people are preferring having those surgeries with the. Is it considered to be a surgery, or it's a procedure about the skin tightening?
There are different ways to do skin tightening. So we can apply some radiofrequency energy or laser energy to build the collagen, stimulate the collagen formation, and that will tighten the skin. Or sometimes we can also put threads inside the face, underneath the skin, from a very tiny little incision, and then pull those threads, and that would pull the skin and tighten the skin, what we call non-surgical facelift. So there are different ways. Everyone is different, and the extent of the damage is different. So, we'd love to hear from our audience, and
of course,
call us, and then we'll
another
assess
question.
The situation.
Another question related to this was, after the skin tightening, sometimes people have this extra skin on their eyelids as well, and with having those extra eyelids, their face is completely done. Their face is done. So is it includes the removal of fat or removal of things from the eyelid as well to make it look more youthful, or make to remove that extra blanket on the eyelids?
Of course, there are different ways, as I mentioned before, including the eyelids as well. Everyone is different. The eye, of course, is a very sensitive organ. We have to be very careful when we operate around the eye, but non-surgical procedures are also available to tighten the skin around the eye.
Okay, and apart from that, we are now moving to the end part of the program. Thank you so much for coming to the program. In fact, one of the tips definitely you would like to tell people, the people who are usually going to the offices or the people who are usually going to these centers but not preferring to go to a particular clinic basically. What are some of the consequences they might face?
That's very important. We have a med spa, not a spa, and that's completely different ball game. Med spa has to be supervised and directed by a physician provider, but spas that are not directed or supervised by physicians, I think, in my view, I wouldn't trust going there. It's a little bit risky, especially when we're dealing with skin and the sensitivity of how we look. And it's important to be supervised by a physician.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Dr. Dea, for joining us. And would love to see you again. And we might have some more questions coming up for you as well from the audience, from the viewers, the procedures they are having or they might want to have. Definitely, you are going to be a definite big help for them. This is me, Uzair Hassan, signing off with this incredible episode of Good Morning with NTV Houston. If you have any questions for us and if you have any questions for Dr. Dea, particularly, you can definitely write us as well. info@ntvhouston.com is the mail. And if you're watching this episode on social media, so there's a comment section below. So you can definitely leave your questions over here. And if we are having Dr. Dea once again, so we are definitely going to clear all the queries. And this is me, Uzair Hassan, signing off, and I'll see you in another exciting episode of #GMNTV. Till then, take care.